Our final senior night is one that I almost let get away. Because for me, his story is tied up in my own. This is my 9th year as the head cross-country coach at Joplin High School. When Jeff Starkweather hired me to take over the program, I was ecstatic. In the 3 years as the assistant coach, our teams continued to grow. Students were running better than they had in some time. We even had a young man win a district championship in those early years. After a program had spent years mired in mediocrity, I was convinced that I was the spark that jump-started the incremental success that we were seeing between 2010 and 2014. After all, I thought, distance running is pretty simple science. If you train the right way, you get the desired results. If only I could go back to that young man and smack him in the back of the head. There was a time when I believed there is a way to train student athletes, and the successes we were experiencing were only evidence to that truth. If only we did the right workouts at the right time and the right order, all of our students would run well. And then I was hired to take over the head coaching responsibilities, armed with a few years of incremental improvements. I thought I knew the way. And frankly, that way looked a lot like training 14-year-olds like they were 22-year-old college athletes. Hobbs Campbell's older sister is a wonderful young lady that ran under that coach that thought he knew everything. And while she would say her time with us was not all that bad, and she'd probably do it again, trust me, she would be kind in saying so. Thankfully, it all worked out in the end, as she will soon graduate law school and has secured a coveted federal clerkship. But suffice it to say, when it was time for Hobbs Campbell to come to high school, I didn't think he'd ever consider joining our team. From what I knew, he didn't even like middle school cross country very much, despite winning most of the races he'd entered. He'd surely witnessed all of the craziness that I asked of his older sister and wanted no part of it. It was August of 2019. Official practices were starting. I knew Hobbs wasn't running, but I worked up the courage to send his mother a text message. And I'm sure it said something to the effect of, I know Hobbs isn't going to run, but we're starting and we'd love to have him, and practice is at this time if he's interested. And I'm sure his mom was kind, but we all knew he wasn't going to run cross country. A few weeks ago, Hobbs' father stumbled into screenshots of family text messages in those weeks, and I would like to share some of those with you now. I believe the blue is Hobbs' dad. His mom says she just got a text from me asking if Hobbs is going to go out for cross country. And his dad says, I can make him. And his mom says, I know, but running sucks. And he's good at a lot of other things that are probably way more fun. And the next day, this is their, it looks like it's titled Fam Squad. This is their family thread. And I believe his dad says, Hobbs, Coach Dixon wants to talk to you. And his sister, that's Keaton. His sister says, how would you know? He texted Mom. And Keaton says, what did he say? LOL. He'd like Hobbs to run cross country. And Keaton says, I figured. And Hobbs says, his first chime in here, says, LOL. And his dad says, it's not a joke. And Hobbs says, I know, but I'm not. And over the course of the next couple of weeks, it seems that Hobbs and his family would talk about this. And Hobbs and his dad seemed to come to an agreement that involved bribery. Hobbs' parents agreed to pay him $300 if only he would come to cross-country practice for a few days. And he was spending time with a friend and wanted to spend the night at that friend's house. And his dad says, yes, you can spend the night, but you need to go to cross-country practice. And Hobbs says, can I spend the night if I go to cross-country practice? And his dad says yes. You got 5 minutes to decide, and Hobbs reminds him, don't forget, you owe me $300. Well, thankfully, Hobbs stayed with us. He would go on to be the newcomer of the year that season, running 16:43 as a freshman. And though he lost his spring season to COVID, he would have played baseball anyway, so maybe it worked out for us. Because he still hadn't fully committed himself to us. In 2020, he barely missed a state medal as a sophomore in the fall, but would join his teammates on the track that spring and come away with 2 state medals. As a junior, he broke 3 school records, earned 4 more state medals, and just last Friday, he closed out his senior season with a 5th place finish at the Missouri State Championships. Hobbs is a testament to the intersection between hard work and talent. Though we have some unfinished business on the track, he leaves us at the end of this school year to join the Jayhawks of Kansas University, where he will run Division I cross country and track. His signing ceremony is tomorrow after school in the gymnasium. I'm sure he'd love to see many of his teammates there. Senior Hobbs Campbell. The senior class 2022 will come as no surprise to anyone that has followed our team these past few years. He is the young man whose parents bribed him to run cross country. To be sure, there are way too many superlatives to list when it comes to this young man. But if I were to try, I would tell you that he has run 7 of the 10 fastest times in school history by anyone, including the 5 fastest times ever by a Joplin High School cross-country runner, culminating in a school record time of 15 minutes and 21 seconds. He is a member of the school record 4x800 meter relay team. He is the school record holder in the 2 mile at 9 minutes and 19 seconds. He holds the school record in the mile at 4 minutes and 10 seconds. He has won 7 state medals, and we still have a season to go. He is, without question, the greatest distance runner Joplin High School has ever produced. For the 3rd time in 4 years, the 2022 Joplin High School cross country most valuable runner is senior Hobbs Campbell.